Okay, I guess we're live now. Hey
Yes,
guys, welcome to another show of the Fan Stands. I know we weren't here in last week because I had such a packed and busy schedule, but uh, we've taken our time today because it was overdue and it was pending. So, Ahmed, mate, how are you, bro?
I'm fine, Mohsen. How are you? I'm doing fine. How about you?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you there.
I'm saying I'm all right. How about you?
I'm fine, mate. I'm fine. Well, the weather's a bit crazy outside. I can see
Yeah,
lightning and rough winds outside. I hope the connectivity stays through. So, guys, another live session, and the best part about life is football is back. So, Ahmed, I'm so excited.
yes,
What a week we've had. I mean, it was a
yes.
very good week. So, Ahmed, what are your thoughts? I mean, before we talk about the games and the results, how do you feel with football coming back?
Yeah. First of all, I'd like to welcome all the football fans across Pakistan and Australia and all over the world. Well, it always good. It's always good as a football fan that football is back, especially Premier League, which is the most watched league as well. And La Liga is back as well. And I think La Liga and League On. I think League On was the first league to return after the pandemic. But I think more people were more focused on EPL returning this week. So yeah, we had quite a bit of good matches and quite a lot of matches to discuss. So yeah, I'm ready to discuss with you. What's the rundown?
Yeah, there is a lot to discuss, and before we go into details and Liga, I'd like to start with the Premier League because a lot of fans, we're more interested about the Premier League coming back and how things shape up. It was a
Yes,
late start, more than the usual. I mean, usually by this time we would have had around what 3, 4, 5 games, and we would be a bit sure that how clubs are shaping up this season. I mean, yes,
yeah,
it has started because of the unfortunate pandemic. So the first game,
yeah,
Ahmed, I want to talk about is
mm,
Fulham versus Arsenal. I mean, Ahmed, we saw glimpses of the old Arsenal coming back, and they're on at top right now. And a lot of Arsenal fans are saying that Arsenal will win the league because they're at the top on Thursday. So,
well, uh,
Ahmed, sum this match up. I mean, the usual culprit, Aubameyang. Not good.
yeah,
I had him in my fantasy team, but
yeah,
unfortunately, I
that's good.
didn't captain Salah. I had him as vice captain, but Aubameyang didn't disappoint. So, Ahmed, jokes apart, can you sum up this game for us?
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant start for Arsenal. I think last season we have seen that they were quite poor away from home. So yeah, I think this is the real test for Arteta. I think Arteta, with the signing of Gabriel and William Saliba, I think he solidified his defensive line. So yeah, you can see that defensively Arsenal were very good. They didn't have any problem. I think for first 7 minutes, I think Fulham were in control. They tried to score, but I think Leno was too good to beat. After that, I think from 7 to I think 88 minutes, it was all Arsenal show. I think Aubameyang was really good as usual. He was good, but I think the main player which everyone are talking about is the Chelsea player from Chelsea, Willian. I think he really performed really well. I think it was one of his best game I've seen this year. Yeah, he was really good. He was involved in all three goals. First goal, I think it was by Lacazette. I think it was a he sure he took a shot, but it was deflected, and then I think Lacazette easily converted a chance. After that, I think it was through. They got the first corner and Gabriel, which was he was also brilliant on his debut, also scored, and yeah, so it was like smooth sailing for the Arsenal. And I think after that, Lacazette with a very good long shot in the corner to beat Roddick, their Fulham goalkeeper. So yeah, I think it was a really brilliant, normal Arteta-esque performance by Arsenal, and I think we can see that Arsenal is really gaining their form, and I can see them being in a good league position and giving competition to the usual top six.
Ahmed, interesting name you mentioned, Billion. I'm sorry to my Malaysian friend, Mr. Mohammed. I told him to take Billion out of this fantasy team because he won't be assisting or scoring that many. Yes, he did
Hmm.
have 9 goals and 9 assists for Chelsea last season, but I thought he might be on the bench and we'd see more of Pepe and
Yeah,
that Brazilian kid, I forgot his name, Martinelli, maybe more than
Martin.
Pepe.
Yeah.
And I've heard Arteta wants to utilize Pepe more like a midfielder rather than a winger. So, Ahmed, do you think Pepe is going to be a very good signing? Because a lot of Chelsea fans criticize Willian for not being very consistent, and then a lot of Arsenal fans were also reluctant, were not very happy with the signing. I mean, they expected bigger names to join Arsenal, maybe someone like Partey or Hassam Ouar.
Hmm.
So, your thoughts about Willian signing and his performance against Fulham?
I think it's a very good signing. I think like that Chelsea didn't need Willian because they already signed Hakim Ziyech and I think also Kai Havertz. So they are covered in the wing area. So yeah, the
Mhm.
all the old wingers like Pedro and Willian, they couldn't play their part anymore. So they went to other places. I think Willian to Arsenal, Arsenal was very Arsenal fan was very reluctant or skeptical on that, but I think he proved them wrong. I think Arteta really needed some experience on the wing because Nicolas Pepe last season I think even though he was a really good player, but he really had often really have a off season. Like he had one or two, 3 or 5 good games, and after that he would be like disappeared or like didn't had a good game. So I think for Arteta to have some experienced winger, it was a good for him. So yeah, Willian really performed really well. So yeah, I think Chelsea fan really expected this Willian to perform every week, but the problem with William is that you can't expect this kind of a performance every week. So let's see if he can keep this consistency in Arsenal because he's a really good player, and Arsenal fans would really need someone who can give them control on the right side of the wing.
Okay, well, so we have a fan, by the way, Ahmed. He's the only Sunderland fan in Pakistan. So shout out to Mr. Mohammed Chima. Uh,
Wow, he's very rare.
it is very rare. I hope he is watching. Thank you for the question. Thank you for the comment, by the way. Well, luckily I
Hmm.
only had him as my captain. I don't play my triple captain so early. I like to see my advice was just try to see the patterns there, try to see the opponent. So that was smart, risky, but too early. But even
Yeah.
I thought, Ahmed, that Aubameyang goal. Do you remember that goal? I mean, the build up from the back. Do you think Arteta can do what Klopp has done for Liverpool? I know it's too early to say; it's very premature. But give him a couple of seasons. Is it possible?
Yeah, I think it can because many people said that Arteta was the brain behind what Guardiola did in City. So yeah, if we got good players in the midfield, even though he's doing good with Al-Nani and Shaka in the midfield, but yeah, if you can provide him with someone like OR, like you mentioned, or even with Thomas Partey, who can drift who can who have a good defensive abilities and also can deliver ball forward. So yeah, I think with a good midfielders, I think Arteta can go more forward because he's a very technical gifted manager.
Okay. So anything else? I mean, Fulham. Uh, you weren't happy with them getting promoted. You wanted to see more
Yeah,
Brentford.
no,
And I saw highlights from a Brentford game earlier on today on the telly. I think yes, I wanted to see Brentford rather than Fulham, but no disrespect to Mr. Shahid Saab, and
yeah,
I hope Mr. Babar, a very big Fulham fan of Mr. Shahid Saab. I hope he's not angry. No, with all due respect. Evan, do you think? I'll come to this topic later on. So, what do you think, Arsenal? Who do they face next? Any idea?
well, I haven't seen the list, so I can't tell you. I think I have to see the list to
I think they
remember.
face Liverpool later on, but well, no issues with that. So Ahmed, now moving on. Do we have anything else to talk about Arsenal, or should we move on now?
And I think we covered Arsenal. I think they're really they like they have a atrocious away form. So I think this will give them really good form going forward.
Well, I think they've been in fantastic form in the last few months, and
Yeah,
I'm a bit disappointed that Martin is probably on his way to Villa. But I really like the lad. I think he's very good. He was the one who really helped Arsenal. I mean, since that lockdown injury away at
yeah,
Brighton to Leno, I mean, he filled the shoes or gloves very well. And let's see if Partey and Orr can join, because what I've noticed is the team is built around Saka, Jaka,
yeah,
however you may pronounce him, and I mean, without him, I think they really need Partey or OR in that midfield, like you mentioned
yeah,
before. So moving
yeah.
on to a very, very good match. I expected this to be a good one. It's always a goal fest whenever Leeds and
Mm,
Liverpool face off, but I thought Liverpool being champions might easily see this one through. But I mean, wow, El Loco, the crazy guy, Bielsa, gave gave a run to Klopp for his money. I mean, what a game it was, Ahmed. Your thoughts on this one?
Well, if you are a neutral fan, I think you really enjoyed this match because you could see that there were goals coming from if Liverpool scored, lead then score after that. So it was a really good game if you were a neutral fan. I think if ever new as a Liverpool fan, you will be disappointed by the defensive display of the Virgil van Dijk and Trent Alexander-Arnold. Like really, it was atrocious at time because I think Liverpool defensively in the last 3 to 4 matches. I think after they won the league, they haven't been performing defensively really good. They have been very, I think, defensively not technically good, and they have been exploited quite easily. Like we have seen in a Community Shield as well in the Arsenal, and also like I think it's time for the Virgil van Dijk to perform like he used to perform 2 years ago. That second Ballon d'Or performance that Liverpool needed. But yeah, I think it was there was an interesting thing by Bielsa. Like Anfield is not Anfield without their 12 crowd, their 12 player crowd.
The
So
12th
yeah, I
man.
think the
Ahmed,
12th.
sorry, I'd like to interrupt. Do you think Van Dijk is struggling because he doesn't have a fixed partner? I mean, Joe Gomez is good. He's been decent. He's very different with Matip around. I think he's more confident with someone experienced and good like Matip. But the problem is Matip has been injured, and now Gomez is also inconsistent and probably tired
Yeah,
because had to play 2 away games against Iceland
yeah,
and Denmark. So do you think Liverpool needs a cover in that defense? To, someone to help Van Dijk, because Van Dijk has a
yeah.
lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, I think they need someone young for Van Dijk as well because Dijon Lovren also he was not good enough, so he have left as well. I think the best pairing is Virgil van Dijk and Matip, but the problem, as you have mentioned before, he's very injury prone, but he can't play more than 3 to 4 games without going injured. So yeah, I think they would like to go spend in the center back position in this window or in the next one. They could really go for a young center back. I think they were linked to Ben White and Diego Carlos, but I think both of them won't be coming because they're demanding very hefty fees, around 50 to 60 million. And FSG doesn't spend that kind of a money unless they sell the player. So yeah, I think it was they really need a second center back because the good Joe Gomez, even though he's a good center back, but we have seen that he can be someone inconsistent in few matches.
Okay. So do you think after watching this game, Liverpool does need to invest in the transfer? I mean, I've spoken to a couple of Liverpool fans. Some of them are still confident that this was just an early hiccup because the team wasn't prepared. Others say, this game shows that there is a heavy need of transfers, and 3 areas which they're really concerned about is having a striker, having a midfielder there who's creative, someone like Thiago, who's very versatile in midfield, and then a centre back to partner Van Dijk. We've discussed the centre back part. What about the mid and the number 9 role? I mean, Firmino was good, but he couldn't finish. Ahmed, he missed, I think, 1 or 2 good chances which he should have scored. especially by his standards. And especially when you're playing for Liverpool, if you want to retain that title, whatever position you're playing in, I mean, you need to take your chances.
Yeah, I think look, like I said before, I think Liverpool should really have gone for Timo Werner. Like they should have invested Timo Werner because it was a really good investor. Like Firmino, I know he's a really good player, but you can't play same player for 2 to 3 years because he like people say that he's a selfish striker. He will play CF, and because of them, the Sadio Mane and Salah can do whatever they want with the goal scoring. So yeah, I think you can see that he has a really bad goal drought in Anfield. So yeah, I think Klopp should go for a striker in this. I think no, if not
He,
in this summer,
uh,
but
he
he
scored
should
once
go
in
in the
37
winter.
games at Anfield, I
Yeah,
believe. He broke the drought against Chelsea at the end of the season. But yeah, they should. But Ahmed, what about Mohamed Salah? Fantastic. I mean,
yeah,
probably a bargain. I mean, when you think we'll stand around what 50 odd million or something, and what a turnout he's had in his career. He didn't get much chances at Chelsea. He went to Italy, did very well in at Fiorentina and Roma, and wow, man, what a player! I mean, one of the best Egyptian exports in Europe.
yeah. Yeah, I think he really flourished this game when he came in his Liverpool shirt. Like I think Klopp built such a good system like that. It supports the players in the wing. That's why I think you will see goal contribution from Salah and Mane. But wow, Salah has really risen his game. I think he really played well. I think the only shining light in this game was Mohamed Salah. I think he performed really well. He had two penalties. He converted quite easily and also had a brilliant goal. So yeah, I think we can expect same kind of a Mohamed Salah in this season as well, and also Sadio Mane. But let's see what's happened with the Firmino. I think he really needs some confident booster, and or either I think Klopp need to shift some system to accommodate Firmino as a can. But wow, Salah was really exceptional. I hope some people really triple captain him, so they'll get a good points in
He was my
in
vice captain,
FPL.
but let's see, let's see. Yeah, I think I saw someone captaining or triple captaining him, and he's very lucky. And by the way, he's the only Liverpool player, and I think he scored in four consecutive opening
Yeah,
days, and
opening
first
man.
Liverpool player to score a hat trick on the opening day. Ahmed,
Yeah.
we can always talk a lot about Liverpool because that will be a regular part of the show. But what about Leeds? I'm sure we're going to talk about them a lot. Marcelo Bielsa, you've been a fan for him for the last 10 years. Ever since he was in Argentina, you used to tell me that he's a very good coach, and you'd love to see him at a top club in Europe. Yes, with all due respect, he is not at a, in the Champions League based club, but I mean he's done well. We wanted to see Leeds back. They're back after 16 years of
Yeah.
absence. I mean he has very good players over there, Calvin Phillips, and
Yeah.
yeah, I mean they were very good players. I forgot the attacker names at Fulham. So I mean even Bamford scored. So
Yeah.
thanks to the Van Dijk error, but Ahmed, how do you see Fulham under Bielsa in the Premier League?
You meant Leeds United. Yeah,
Sorry,
I
Leeds.
think.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I think Bielsa will be really good in this. Like we have seen from the match, like he also like to play pressing game, and he really pressed Liverpool really well. I think Calvin Phillips, he just had his international debut. He's really a good center defensive midfielder, and he really performed well. I think Jack Harrison, and I think Bielsa really adopted his team accordingly to press the high line of Liverpool, and they did really well. I think the problem was they couldn't finish their chances. If Van Dijk was a bit more good at it, I think Bamford wouldn't perform really well. So yeah, I think they brought on Rodrigo, and Rodrigo did well, but I think he considered a penalty, so it wasn't a debut he wished for. But overall, I think Leeds will be really good. We will see a good football from Leeds because Bielsa is such a legend of football. Like most of the managers, Pep. Klopp and Pochettino are such a big influence on their football career because of him. So yeah, I think it's good to see Bielsa in a Leeds United is a good team, but yeah, we would like to see him in a really Champions League team. But you never know. Maybe he can push them into a Europa sport this time if they can play like this. I think yeah, they signed a couple of good signings. I think Robin Noach, who had I think a decent game, but the problem is he I think it just came from I think Germany. So yeah, I think they need a couple of 3 to 4 games to adjust together, and I think we will see a good Leeds United, especially against Manchester United. The rivalry will be amazing to watch.
Well, that would be good, and like to see a lot of El Loco, especially like the way he sits on that ice box, I think, and the way he sips his tea. That's nice.
Yeah.
Ahmed, before I move on to another big match, I just want to quickly wrap up the other games. Jimmy Vardy, this guy can't stop scoring. I regret. I think I should have taken him in my team. I thought he's getting older, but he's aging fine like
Mm.
wine. And, 2 goals in this match. It was a slow start. Funny, interesting fact, Ahmed, all of the promoted teams lost on match day
Yeah,
one, I think. Fulham, Leeds,
yeah,
and West Brom
late.
Ancelotti.
Yeah,
So but I still think Leeds is has been the most impressive from the ones promoted. So do you think Brendan Rodgers do it again, or do you think it'll be too much for him to try and reach top four this time around?
I think the quality in the other teams is really good, so it's gonna be very difficult for Brendan Rodgers to maintain this kind of form. But I think they performed really well. I think that their new signing, Timothy Castagne, really played well defensively, and also he scored his goal on the debut. Jamie Vardy, Jamie Vardy is just Jamie Vardy. He's doing what he do best. He scores goal from penalties, from long shot, and everything. I think they really played well. I think West Brom they didn't challenge Leicester. I think their best player was their goalkeeper Sam Johnston, and I
Hmm.
think Livermore played a bit of match, but I think it was very symbolic from West Brom. I think I expected more from Simon Bilic, but let's see what happened. I think it's a first off match after 2 years for him. He was previously he was coaching West Brom. Sorry, West Ham
West Ham.
United. Sorry, West Ham. Yeah. So yeah, we will. I like to give him a couple of games before I think he comes in routine with the EPL. So yeah, I think they really required a good. Callum Robinson is a good striker, but it's not something pro clinical striker, something who can score 10 to 15 goals. So yeah, they could really use some talent up front. Other than that, I think defensively they've been good, but when you come against top six, it's very difficult for you to I think maintain the defensive, and I think it was easy win for Leicester. I think
And the Belgian fullback had a very good debut.
Yeah, Timothy Castagne, yeah, he was really good, and I think it was a good signing. I think because you can see that Ben Chilwell wasn't last season. He wasn't performing. I think Leicester fan was saying that he wasn't performing too well. So yeah, I think for 24 million and selling him for 50, I think Castagne has really good season from Atalanta. So yeah, I think it's a good signing, and
Good signing. Good
also I
signing.
think
Let's hope. Yes,
also,
continue. Sorry.
we like to say James Madison didn't play, but we will like to see James Madison also come. I think Talisman and Dennis Pratt had really good games. So yeah, let's see
Fieldsman.
what will.
Fieldsman is an amazing player. I'm sure a lot of Barcelona scouts want to see more of Madison because he's the English Iniesta. So
Let's
Ahmed,
hope so.
quickly before moving to the final big game of the EPL, I just like to say that good win for Palace and a very good win for Newcastle away at
Yeah,
West Ham. David Moyes struggling again. I know there's so many option candidates for relegation. Unfortunately, I really admire West Ham, but let's hope they can pick up. I don't want to go into too much details because of time
yeah.
constraints. I would like to talk about the one of the other big games we've had
Oh,
yesterday. Mourinho versus Ancelotti. It was a very dull fest. when we had the same fixture at White Hart Lane at the end of the season after post-COVID lockdown. But it was a good game, decent game yesterday, especially very good performances by the new signing for Everton, Takore, Allen, and James Rodriguez. So, and Mourinho was really furious. He said inside he didn't like his spot. So, what does that mean, and what happened in the match, Ahmed?
If this match proved that where the both of the legendary managers are, you have Mourinho who have performed really well at Inter, Porto, and Real Madrid, and also in Manchester United. And we also and other you have Carlo Ancelotti who has also performed well in Real Madrid, in AC Milan, in Napoli, and other places. But you can see that Jose Mourinho all this year hasn't kept his game. Well, you can see Ancelotti. He knows that what's the problem in the Everton attacking and midfielder, and he tried to address it. So yeah, I think it was a brilliant game by all the debutants of the Everton team. Yeah, I was really excited to watch how James will play after he hasn't been playing for Real. I think for around a year. I think he had 1 or 2 games, but he hasn't been playing regularly. It was such a talent. It's such a joy to watch him. So yeah, I think also Decore had a really good game. He was playing more of a 10 rather than 8, and also Allen. I think Allen really. Some of the people were saying that Harry Kane was in his pocket, and yeah, like I said, Allen was a really good talent. He was a kind of a
Very good.
player where he was kind of led that Maurizio Sarri should have brought instead of Jorginho. But yeah, he's such a good talent, and I think it's a really these three midfield signings is a really good scouting talent by Everton side, and yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah, I think it was really a match of one-sided match. Like I think uh, Spurs had a couple of chances through Son and Dele Alli, but the problem is that Dele Alli hasn't been performing too well. Also, I think Harry Kane looks a bit rusty. I don't know why, and I think
Yeah,
the only
he
attacker.
did not even play preseason, and he starts. That has also got some
Mm.
neutrals wondering that why is he an automatic selection regardless of his form, and Spurs
What the
haven't
problem?
invested in a striker.
Yeah, the problem is that they're not investing in a striker because I think they have an option of signing Milik, but the problem is he's evaluated around 35 to 40 million. So it's difficult, I think, for Spurs to generate that kind of fund. So yeah, I think Matt Doherty, their debutant, Spurs debutant, he had a couple of chances, but he didn't have. Other than that, he didn't have a really good game. I think, it was all Everton because how James Rodriguez was involved in either assisting or scoring, and I think if Richarlison could converted all his chances, I think this match was over in the first half. But yeah, I
Yeah,
think
he missed, but sorry, Ahmed, I'm interrupting because I don't want to forget my points. Richarlison missed his chance, but he was showing. I mean, Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin. I mean, these two are the players you'd
yeah,
often look for Everton to get on the score sheet, especially with James there. His creativity
mm,
is what Everton was lacking. So Gerson couldn't do that when he
yeah,
was playing there, and when they signed, I think, yeah, I don't remember the name. That Dutch midfielder they got from Ajax. So
mm.
I mean, he could do.
David Clarkson they
Yeah,
signed, but
David
he
Klassen. Yeah, yeah, I mean, he couldn't even do that. But Hammers looks like a good prospect, a good signing. Let's hope he can bounce back to the same form he displayed in the 2014 World Cup. I had Calvert-Lewin in my fantasy team, and the reason is because I know if anything's going to happen in the attack, it's going to happen through him or either Richardson. Ahmed, how good has he been under Angelotti? I mean, he's absolutely been transformed, and I think I'd start with him rather than Harry Kane for the English squad. If Southgate, I don't want to, I think I should say it live, but if Southgate had the balls to make good vice changes, so he hasn't done that. But I mean, how good has DCL been?
Yeah, Calvin Lewin has been really good. I think he's one of their homegrown players, and yeah, I think if I'm Calvin Lewin, I've been really excited because I have James Rodriguez assisting me. I have
Hmm.
Decore, who's also a good ball playing midfielder. So he must be excited from the balls coming through Richarlison, Digne, James Rodriguez. So yeah, it's a good time to be a good striker. So yeah, I think last season we see glimpses of him, even though they were in midfield, they were underperforming. Like you said, they're Gulfi Sugans and he's 33 now. He hasn't been performing on a top level now. So yeah, I think the signing of, like I said, signing of Hammers, I've been really surprised. People were really surprised by the Everton signing James Rodriguez, but I said that it's a really good signing. It's a bargain signing for them. So yeah.
Uh,
So
I'm not too surprised. I'm sorry to interrupt again. I mean, a lot of people saying that was Ancelotti full power and everything else. He did flush under Ancelotti while they both were at
yeah,
Real together. But I think James did not have many options. I mean, you want to revive your career. He went to Bayern. He couldn't settle there. He back to Real Madrid. He told Zidane that play me or just keep me
mm,
out of the squad. I'd rather watch Real. If I just want to see Real Madrid play, it's where I watch them from my home on the telly rather than being there on the pitch and not getting any minutes. So I think
yeah,
James did not have many options, and I think Everton very good place to revive your career right now, especially under manager who has a lot of faith in you and trust you a lot. But Ahmed, sorry, you can get back to your point. I also like you to answer. Do you still think Everton is still? I feel they're still weak at the back, and Pickford is shaky, not too good. I mean, he was very good 2 3 seasons ago, but
yeah.
for since end of 2019, 18, 19, we've seen very shaky.
I think Pickford in this game was good, but you were right. I think his number one position in England is in danger because you can see that Dean Henderson and also Nick Pope have been performing really well for Manchester. I think Sheffield United and Burnley respectively. So yeah, I think he had a good game, but I think the main problem for Everton is the defense. Even though Seamus Coleman played really well, yeah, and they were good with also like Michael Keane and Digne. They had their usual performance, but yeah, I think they might need one really good centre back. That just like a Liverpool with Virgil van Dijk, they can get
Mhm.
them. I think they can break in top six. But I think if they can really be defensively good and with a really good midfielder and attacking sense, I think
Mhm.
they can come in top six if Wolves and Spurs had a bad season. Yeah,
Mhm. Okay. So, we still have Chelsea to play. There's going to be a lot of talks about Mourinho and Ancelotti. We still have Chelsea to play against Brighton. So, yes, Ziyech won't play, but let's see how Chelsea fits in with the new signing. So, we don't want to talk too much details about the pre-match Ahmed right now, and we still have the
yeah,
Manchester clubs left to play because of the European fixtures. So they've been given an extra week's rest. So let's see how
mm.
the Chelsea game goes. I feel Ahmed, I think Chelsea's going to see off Brighton. What about you?
Yeah. I think it's gonna be easy win for Chelsea because all this talent. I think it's time. I think we will see the debut for. I think Kai Havertz and Timo Werner. So yeah, I think it's a easy win for them. But the problem is, like I tag you in the post before the Kappa situation. Where I think will we see
Hmm.
Mendy coming, or we will see Kappa playing. So yeah, uh,
Mendy, I think I remember the name of the source is almost close. So let's see what happens. And
yeah.
I mean, before I finish the Premier League, if Everton do well, can we expect Everton Pakistani supporters club coming soon?
Really, I think there was a couple of Everton fans and a couple of football groups, but yeah, we will expect more of them if because of
Yeah,
James Rodriguez
there is one I know, Mr. Mason from Football Ittihad. Hopefully,
yeah,
we'll have him on the show one day soon. So, Ahmed, moving from Premier League because of time crunch, unexpected net issues. I've heard La Liga's also returned, and like someone said, the Premier League's taking so much of the limelight just because Real and Barcelona weren't playing. A lot of people forgot La Liga had also started, but
yeah.
luckily, I was in touch. So who played, who didn't? Did Atletico play or not? And Real Barca didn't play, like I mentioned, but Villarreal did play, Valencia as well. So
Yeah.
any news from Spain?
I think, like you said, that the main heavyweight teams didn't play because of the UEFA Champions League competition. So yeah, Barcelona and Real, I think they will play next week. I think we had the Villarreal match with Esuka. So yeah, I think it was the start of the good evening
Oh
Emery
yeah,
season.
oh yeah. Good evening.
I, yeah, good evening. The season started. I think it was a draw against. Yeah, I think they were all the new signing was playing. I think we will see Parejo and so yeah, Gerard Moreno scored. So yeah, it was like I think like it was a first week. So it was he wasn't he did Villarreal didn't perform very well. So I think it was they were lucky to get a draw for them. I think second match was between Valencia and Eibar, and Valencia won 4-2. I think Valencia, as you know, they are in turmoil. They had to sell a lot of their starting 11. So yeah, they had couple of old players like Gabriel, Mala, Ma,
Gaia.
Maga, Maga,
Gaia is the captain.
Magala, Gaia Mangala from I think from the city. So yeah, I think they have a couple of academy players, especially Vallejo, yeah.
Yeah,
Vallejo,
Villarreal.
I think Vallejo, he came from, I think, from the bench and he scored a couple of goals. So yeah, I think it was a good match, good win for Valencia. Also, I think there was a match between Real Sociedad and Real Vallecano, and it was also a draw. So yeah, I think next week we can discuss more of them when Real and Barca play. So we can discuss more of them. Also,
But
Atletico Madrid.
one thing like to talk about La Liga. No big transfers happening. I mean, nothing from Barcelona, nothing from Real, Atletico, Sevilla, or any other club. Transfers are taking place, but when you talk about the big clubs spending big, spending, with names, nothing on the forum.
Yeah, I think, you can see that I think the transfer markets end in October. So I think most probably the transfer will occur next month. I think around the last 15 days. The transfer picks up in the last
Hmm.
15 days. So yeah, I think you're right, but let's see what happens. I think Barcelona we will see will be get busy. I don't expect too much business from Real as well. Atletico Madrid also I think will be quiet. I think they might sign one or two players, but I think Sevilla have
I
signed. Sevilla I think have signed Marco Acuna from Sporting because they couldn't utilize the Sergio Reguilon loan, so they signed I think left back so from Sporting. So I think other than that, I think it's been a quiet window. I think Villarreal, surprisingly, Villarreal is the club with the most transfer right now. Other than that, I think La Liga has been quiet in transfer market.
Let's see, let's see. So, Ahmed, enough about football. I'm really tired. I want to talk about wrestling, UFC. How it's done on it's performed on a football pitch in Paris. It seems. WTF happened in this match.
Oh,
I woke up and I saw this news and I had to share it on the page and a lot of views
yeah.
and comments about it. People are laughing. Uh, what's going wrong with PSG? I mean, they've lost twice consecutively. Doesn't It's very rare for them. So what is going wrong with PSG? I know these two clubs are fiercest rivals in French football, but what happened in this match? Has Tuchel lost control of his team? Is PSG frustrated since that Champions League final loss?
Uh, well, you're right. It was a WWE match. Like last 7 minutes, I think it was a really shambolic display of football. Like it was, the player was kicking each other. There was some racial abuse as well from Alvaro Gonzalez on Neymar. So yeah, it was a very controversial match. And I think it was a controversial match also before the match was played. Both of the teams, I think, press conferences were, I think they were just pulling each other's leg. I think it's a very oldest rivalry between them. So yeah, the match started I think really well. I think PSG had couple of chances, but I think Steve Mandanda was really good. He wouldn't let anything go. So I think attacking wise, Marseille was really good. I think on the set pieces they capitalized through Florent Thauvin. He played really good. And after I think if you see it in the replays, I think it was an inch offside, but I think
Mm.
referee decided to give it. So yeah, I think after that in the second half, I think PSG tried to pull through Di Maria, but I think he was also offside and everything. And I think in the second half we can see the pressure building up from the PSG players. I think they started to become more aggressive, but I think the Marseille players really handled that well. And also, I think in second half, I think uh, who was the winger name? I forgot. He scored, but it was called offside. It was
Mm.
called offside, but it wasn't offside. I think VAR, if VAR was included in there, it was onside. So yeah, but I think the most interesting thing was then after 90 minutes, it started from I think Alvaro Gonzalez saying something to Neymar. After that,
Mm.
Neymar just tap on his head
Lost.
and after I think it was I think they were going for a free kick or something, and when the game started, I think Alvaro just slapped him, and after that, Leandro Perez just came and headbutted him, and I think the brawl started. So
Mm.
Awami was kicking Kurzawa. Kurzawa was kicking him, and yeah, it was some symbolic, like five
UFC.
players.
UFC.
Yeah,
Ahmed,
yeah,
I've learned two things. You really love to follow your French football, and number two, I've learned is I think Florent Thauvin did not follow the script. He wasn't supposed to score. He was supposed to take a yellow red card. He
yeah. I
accidentally
know.
scored.
There was
Head.
14. There were 14 yellow cards and five reds. So yeah, five red.
Amazing,
It was
amazing.
amazing. I think PSG. You're right, Mohsin. PSG. I think
Rostered.
after the UEFA match, after the final UEFA match, I think they went on the vacation on the
Mm.
Ibiza. They partied all day. After that, they came back with COVID-19. I think seven players came back with COVID-19. So yeah, I think
Oh.
mostly they had second string, second squad players playing for them. So I think in the first match, I think they also lost against Lens. So in the,
Mm.
I think they had proper team this time. I think Sarabia was playing, Di Maria was playing, Neymar was playing. So I think it could be an easy win, but the problem is once again I think in this the midfield they couldn't create anything. Also I think they have a couple of players who's not performing well. I think a question will be asked on Julian Dexler who hasn't performed.
Draxler, by the way, is linked with
Dexler,
Leeds. I like to link this with the headline. Mbappe wants to leave PSG.
yeah,
Will Neymar also follow? Hasn't been a successful outing. I mean, yeah, winning the league with PSG, good, but that is not enough. You want to see him and Mbappe. I mean, very good talents win the Champions League, and then someone like Draxler, very good talent. Career is going downhill. He also needs
yeah,
to revive his career like James is trying to do at Everton. Probably a move to Leeds might suit him, but I'm trying to link PSG with the transfer now. PSG
yeah,
also hasn't done spent big transfers this season so far. So, Emma, do you
yeah. I
think
think they
what's going to happen now? Especially we're starting with PSG right now.
Yeah, I think PFG only signed Florenzi, and they needed a right back because Kerr will play center back after Thiago Silva went to Chelsea. So yeah, they signed Florenzi. I think he had a okayish game. He wasn't too good. He had one chance, but I think like I said, Steve Mandanda was really good. As for Mbappe, I think he had a contract till 2022, but he's not signing it. So I think most probably, I think there are two teams who are interested in him. I think his dream team is to play under Zidane so he will go to Real Madrid. Second, I think you have heard his interviews. He said that Jurgen Klopp team Liverpool has been really good. I like their team. They press really well. I think they are the champion. So yeah, the Liverpool. So it's either the
Ahmed, I'm laughing because Liverpool can't even buy Thiago for 20-30 million. And are they going to spend, I don't know, 150, 200 million for Mbappe? I
though I
mean,
think. It's very difficult. I think if Mbappe will come to Liverpool, it's either be free, and so yeah, they won't be.
Won't be
I
free. I
think.
think they probably sell Salah or Mane. I mean, I know it's absurd. It just might upset Liverpool fans, but that is how I see FSG working.
But I think he will go to Real. I think it's some. I
He
think
will.
it is his. It is his dream move. Like it is his dream move to be to play with. Like he's a big Zidane fan. He's a French as well, and so yeah, he like to play under Zidane. So I think like you can't play with Karim Benzema forever. Like he's also 34 or 33, 34. So I think he will be a perfect replacement for the Benzema. So yeah, I think
It's
let's.
going to be tough. It's going to be tough trying to replace Vasquez or Benzema under Zidane's squad. It's going to be
You
really
can't
tough.
say. Yeah, it's really tough. But I
No,
think Benzema.
it jokes apart. I mean, they need someone on the right. Bale is useless. I mean, not playing very unprofessional of him, highly unprofessional from Bale. So they do
But
need
you.
Mbappe, who likes to
Mhm.
play from the right.
I think they will utilize Mbappe more as a striker because I think Vinicius Junior and Hazard will play on all on the both of wings. So I think Mbappe will come as a striker. So yeah, I think if he didn't sign any contract, I think Real Madrid will sign him on a free transfer. Or I think they will give him around. If he's on the last year of his contract, they think Real might give PSG a hundred million dollars and can get him. So yeah, let's see what happens. As for Neymar,
Let's
I
see.
think as for Neymar, I don't see him going anywhere now because he knows
Stuck.
that Barcelona is in shambles. Real Madrid can't. We won't go to Real Madrid because they already have eye on Mbappe. I think Bayern won't sign him because Bayern doesn't work on the signing heavy, very expensive players. I think this is his last club move. This is his last big club move. So I don't see him going elsewhere.
Anything else from the transfer? Higuain's gone to the MLS to play under Beckham's Inter Miami team.
Yeah,
Juventus has been linked with a lot of old heads, Suarez, Dzeko, and I don't know who else is left. So, I mean, nothing for Liverpool yet. Chelsea still linked with the keeper. Let's see how that goes. And
Guardo
we've had a rumor that Barcelona is after Salah. I read this. Like Koeman is an admirer of Salah, but I don't see this move happening right now under Koeman. I don't see big moves. Yes, they do need some few signings, Ahmed. Where are the signings? I mean, they're selling players, but they haven't replaced them. So, is it going to happen? Are we going to see big moves after the elections?
most probably after the election we will access. I think most probably I think after Messi has gone, I think then we will see some big players coming in as well to replace Messi. I think Salah might be a good signing, but the problem is Liverpool might ask around 100 to 50, 100 to 150 million for him. So it's
Mhm.
going to be very difficult for them because they already paid 120, 140 million for Coutinho and he hasn't been so good for them. So I think it's gonna be it's it's difficult. I think yeah, but I think Salah or Mane, one of them will leave for the Barcelona. But let's see. It's all about what happened because right now I think they can't. But Koeman can't sign something big. I think it's either Dutch players for him. Like either
Well,
be Wijnaldum.
what about yes, Wijnaldum or Depay? Are both of them going? Because I mean, they don't have much time. They've already trained or started the league with their respective teams.
Yeah, I think Wijnaldum is not going. I think Klopp has talked to him and he is happy with him. I think he will leave for free, or either he will to sign the contract in few months. As for Depay, I think the rumors are coming that they have started to talk with Leon, but nothing too concrete. I think he played his match with Leon. He was playing the match, so yeah, I think let's see. I think Coleman will get Depay, but won't get Wijnaldum.
Okay, Ahmed, the two rumors, both linked to Manchester United. Also one with City. I'll just sum it. I mean, I'll just say it out in this one sentence. Thiago yes, with Liverpool, but Manchester United is also being involved, confirmed by Romano, and Reguilon linked to Manchester United. They need a left back, as well as Koulibaly to Man City to complete their defensive lineup for this season. So, any news from your end?
I think as for the Thiago rumor, I think it's just a rumor because I think they are interested. I think also their chairman, Hoynes, Ule Hoynes, I think said that both Liverpool and Manchester United have been interested, but we haven't received any bid from them. But I think Thiago, as you can see, his mind is set on coming, playing under Klopp. So I think Liverpool is much ahead in signing him than United. As for Reguilon, I think Sevilla, Real Madrid is asking 30 million. So yeah, I think Manchester United saying that it's a bit too high for that kind of too high for this kind of
Well,
pandemic.
Ahmed,
So
I'm sorry to interrupt. I have a very weird comment. I want to share this out, but Umar from Karachi is asking, is FSG from Faisalabad? I don't know what he means by this. I can't show this comment. I don't want to offend any of the Faisalabadi fans. So very weird comment. So I don't know what he means there, but Ahmed, why isn't FSG splashing the cash?
look, Mohsin, FSG like John Henry, their chairman, have said that we don't operate like the other oligarch clubs does. They work on an American system of
That
replacing
that that
players with
that
other
that
players.
that pissed off Lampard.
Yeah, I think Lampard was fair enough. He just said that Liverpool also spend money, like they also signed Keita. But the problem is they sign players when they sell player as well. So yeah,
But I mean, even Chelsea, even if you see Chelsea, I mean, they've 150, 180 million came from sale of Morata and Hazard, so you can't blame them.
yeah,
Yes, I think the main problem, especially when it comes to the wage part, which people do not realize that it's not only about the signing, you also have to give
yeah,
them
also,
wages. Do you have wages?
yeah.
Because the same Liverpool club was thinking of going on a furlough a couple of months ago and months back. So it's also about that. So, Ahmed, any other news? Man City really quiet. Expected a lot of signing. Remember, we
I
were
th
talking about Messi going to City a month ago, 2 weeks ago.
I think he would have gone. I think Messi's first priority after leaving Barcelona is Manchester City. But the problem is that he has to now abide on the contract, and the contract says that he can't leave until his release clause of 700 million has been met. So I don't think so. Any club can pay, especially in this kind of pandemic, $700 million. So yeah, it's difficult. So
Crazy.
if he leaves next summer, which he probably will, I think Manchester United City is the favorite to sign it. I think
When you
Manchester
when you
City.
said if you said United, I would have kind of fainted now.
Well, I would have a heart attack as well. So yeah, but I think
Ahmed,
they.
sorry, Ahmed, I'm interrupting again because we're almost short of time. Just want to wrap this quick. Is
Yeah,
Manchester
sure.
United going to get Reguilon?
I think they can get, but I think they're not too interested in giving 30 millions. But I think Ole might get. I think after 1 or 2 weeks of if Luke Shaw didn't perform well, I think they might get Regulon because yeah, they need someone on the left side of the left side of the defense.
Okay. Okay, so we're almost about to wrap this up. Any other news or rumor you want to talk about? Anything before I finish
Yeah,
this?
yeah, as an Inter fan, I think it's a very sad news that
Oh,
Sandro Tonali has signed for AC Milan. I think he's a big admire fan of Gattuso,
Milan
and
Gattuso.
so yeah, he said, "I like to continue my legacy in AC Milan." So yeah, he have went to the rivals. So yeah, I'm a bit pissed. And also, I think as an Inter fan, I think we are linked with Conte, but I don't see Chelsea letting him go for
I don't,
more than
I
80
don't,
million because
I don't see that. Yeah, same like Juventus, Inter has a fetish for old players as well. Conte. I mean, there's
yeah,
there's no harm. You can buy old players. I mean, some players play really well with age, but you need young players there as well. I mean, why go for short-term solutions? Why not go for long-term? I mean, Why don't you mix and match, have young players alongside the old
Yeah.
experienced heads, help the team grow?
I think Conte, I think he had really good eye on Vidal. I think Kolarov is really good player if you play him as a center back, but he won't be playing as a wing back. So I think Conte is a short-term solution. As you know, he won't be sticking around for Inter for too long. I think it's either this season and next season, and then after that we have to look for another coach. So for a short-term solution, he will be signing these kind of old
Who will you be
players.
looking for? Mourinho back? I mean,
Oh, no,
heavy criticism, Ahmed. I know time will tell, a lot of show to be covered, but heavy criticism again. Mourinho struggling. I don't see him
yeah,
doing anything in the transfer, but let's see what happens. So, Ahmed, so anything else before I wrap this up?
yeah. I think the transfer window is really quiet because pandemic have really hit, but I think it hasn't been quiet for Chelsea. Yeah, I think they made
Hmm.
around 6 to 7 changes. So I think the winner
Fantastic
of
window.
transfer of the and also I think Aston Villa has also been looking for
Uh,
really good players. Like as you mentioned, Martinez has came. He's a really good keeper. I don't know what. I hope for Arsenal has a buyback clause attached in his contract to buy him back. And also, I think they're linked with a couple of players, like you said. Julian Draxler is also linked with Leeds. I think he would be a really good signing. He can provide really good balls.
Rashika is also linked with Aston Villa. Very good
Yeah,
player from
yeah, yeah. I think
Kosovo
RB.
or Albania.
No, no, he's from Kosovo. Kosovo. I think he's a really good player. I think RB Leipzig was looking for him to replace Timo Werner, but I think they went with Patrick Schick from Roma. So yeah, I think Aston Villa will go for Chelsea and Aston Villa are the big winners for this transfer window, and I think I
Wow.
should see Liverpool making one more signing before the transfer window ends because I think
They
Klopp
should.
will
They
either
have to.
they have to because yeah, I think they should go for Thiago. If not this window, I think in the winter we will see Thiago coming to Liverpool. Most
Winter.
probably.
Okay, that's far away. Let's see how that winter transfer window works and when that will happen. So, Emin, thank you so much for providing your insights, information, and knowledge. So, thank you for the questions.
No worries.
We've had few, probably because I don't know. Sometimes we have a lot of questions, we don't, but we have to carry on with the show. So, Emma, thank you so much, and thank you so much, guys, for the views. And we would love to have more comments next time.
Yeah.
We'd love to have you on the show as well. So, do let us know if you want to be on the show and discuss about your club and tell us things which, because you fans are really passionate. You follow clubs in a very detailed manner, in a very extensive way. So we have very limited knowledge because we try to when you try to speak about everything, so you miss out on a lot of
Yes.
things.
Yeah.
So
Right.
do like, share, subscribe, and Ahmed, once again, thank you so much for taking out time from
Yeah.
your busy schedule. I know it's
No worries.
you're you're into Tuesday. I'm still in Monday.
Yeah, I
It's good.
know. But
It's luckily you're not in Wednesday.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's true. Well, it's always been pleasure coming and discussing football as we are passionate football fans from Pakistan. So yeah, I think it's always good to promote football and especially the EPL. EPL is back again, and let's see. We will have more from La Liga next week with Barcelona and Real playing, and also I think Bundesliga might start soon. So we will cover more leagues, and you might see a couple of more people's coming and having their discussion.
Yeah, we might have this guy. I mean, interesting person, Sunderland fan.
Yeah,
Excited to
yeah,
have him on the
sure.
show, Ahmed.
You know,
Excited to
worries.
have him on the show.
I will
Thank
ask, I will ask him questions about Sunderland who are in League One. So it's gonna be
Yeah,
interesting.
interesting. Mohammed Chima, thank you so much for tuning in and being patient with us. So inshallah, we'll have him on the show, and we'll probably have to line up Arsenal fans. It's long due. So guys, thank you so much. Take care, Ahmed.
Good,
Allah Hafiz.
goodbye.